Welcome to this lesson. So in the last lesson, we looked at how to make the new game button work. So in this lesson, we're gonna go for another step. So we're gonna create canvas click add event listener. So we're gonna create a canvas click listener, and then we're gonna be retrieving the box's number, that is which box was clicked. Okay, so what this means is, so whenever one of these canvases is clicked, our browser has to determine which of these canvas has been clicked and what is the number associated with that particular canvas. So that's what we're going to be getting in here. So once we get this, we can use this in our box click function. Okay, I already mentioned the box click function in the algorithm module. So that's the one I'm talking about. So first of all, let's create the canvas click event. So whenever one of the canvases is clicked, what has to happen? That's what this particular event is for. So this is for when the human player clicks on one of the boxes in the tic-tac-toe game. As usual, we are going to get the element's ID and add a click event listener to it with a function call inside of it. But there is a slight difference to how we are going to go about this. The thing is, there are 9 different canvases. As you can see here, there are 9 different canvases, and each of these canvases have their own IDs. If we were going to do this the traditional way, like we did with the new game button, we'll be retrieving each of these canvases with each ID and adding a click event for each of it. But that's just repeating the same lines of code 9 different times, which is not efficient programming. So a good programmer will always try to reduce the number of lines of code in their program. Am I right? So in order to do that, we'll be creating the whole game area with all the 9 canvases with the ID tick. So with this, okay, this holds all of the IDs, right? All of the canvases, right? So this will be getting the entire area. So we'll be getting the entire div element which has all of the canvases inside of it. So that's what we'll be doing to reduce the number of lines of code. Then we'll add an event listener to this particular element, okay? But instead of mentioning the function game in the second argument like we did here, we just mentioned the function name, right? But instead of doing that, we'll be creating a small anonymous function in this place. Anonymous function, just like this function, that is a function without a name. So as you know, an anonymous function is a function without a name, and instead of defining it like function and then the function's name like this, we'll just write function with 2 parentheses like this. Okay, this is how an anonymous function is created. Function, inside of it we have the arguments, and in here like this. Okay, so now that I've explained everything, let's start creating our code. So first of all, I'm gonna call the document and the get element by ID method, and inside that I'm going to get the entire tick element, which I already explained why I'm doing that. And then I'm going to be creating an event listener, add event listener for this. Okay, and the event listener is the click event listener, but here I'm creating an anonymous function instead of just giving the function name here. So inside that anonymous function, so we've created an anonymous function, and inside of it we are going to be passing the event object E inside of it. Okay, so this event object E, this will refer to the click event of the element tick. Okay, so it refers to this particular click event that we are creating. So we are going to use this event to determine which box was clicked in tick. So now inside of this anonymous function, we're finally going to call the box click function from within this function. Okay, the box click function is our main function. The box click function is for giving instructions for the human players playing, right? And the AI function is for when the AI plays. So the box click function is for the human player. So in order to call that box click function, we are going to be using this particular anonymous function. Okay, so this is where the previously mentioned event object, this event object that I mentioned here, this is where it will come in handy. With this event object, we can determine the target of the click event, as in which canvas box was clicked. So right now we've retrieved the entire tick box and it has 9 different canvases, so we need to know which of those boxes was clicked. So in order to know that, we are going to be using our event object. So That's the thing with an event object. The event object has a lot of information inside of it. It has information on the event, where the event was performed, when it was performed, on which element it was performed, what is the ID of the element which had the event happening to it, and so on and so forth. So similarly, we can use the event object to get the ID of whatever box was clicked. Okay, so this is how I'll do it. So first of all, I'll be calling the box click function from inside of it, and in here I need to send the ID, right? I need to send the ID of whichever box was clicked. So in order to do that, I'm going to be calling the target, that is the event object, and the target in here is, see, look at this explanation. So it is the target, that is the element that was clicked. So I'm retrieving the element that was clicked, and I'm asking the browser to retrieve the ID of that element. And since the event object will have all of those information inside of it, I can just use it and then call all of that. Okay, so the e.target.id basically takes the target of the click event, that is the box that was clicked in the tick item, in the tick element, and then extracts the ID of the target canvas box, and the box click call sends this ID to the box click function. Okay, finally, let's close the add event listener. As you know, this is just a line of code, so let's close this with a semicolon and add a semicolon at the end. So that's it for our canvas click event. Okay, so it's just one line of code, but it has a lot of explanation inside of it because it's doing something that you're not used to. So it's a bit more intermediate than you're used to, right? So that's why I gave an explanation for it. So that's it for this lesson. I'll see you in the next one. We'll be drawing our X's and O's in the next lesson. So I'll see you there. Thank you.